Microphone check 1 2 1 2. It is good to see you again. Thank you, and welcome back to the Ebo Sosa Show. This is going to be part 2, y'all. Part 2 to the main reason you should get married. Now, we're going to get right into it, okay? Now, in part 1, I told you that children was the main reason. Remember? Children was the main reason you should get married. I told you that if you were considering creating another human being that you best get married. Now, I think I'm going to call this one the smoke session. I'm going to call it the smoke session because I'm tired. I'm tired of all these clowns spooning bullshit to these people. And as far as I'm concerned, you're all wolves in sheep's clothing and agents of chaos. You get on YouTube and you sabotage the minds of those who watch you. And that tells me that you don't give a damn about our progress. You get on this platform and you megaphone doom and gloom about women and married life. And then you got the fucking nerve to turn right around and use bitch-made shaming tactics on men who want to get married. You try to make married fathers feel small and unimportant. You flood the internet with venom and cancer, and you got the gall to call yourself an influencer? Yeah, okay. Now, I'm no professional and I ain't got no PhD. However, I know a thing or two about influence. I know that the only way to influence people is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it. See, this is game, okay? Every action you've ever performed since the day you were born was performed because you wanted something. Action springs out of what we fundamentally desire. And what we all fundamentally desire is happiness. So the best piece of advice which can be given to would-be persuaders or influencers, whether in business or in the home, in school, in politics, or on YouTube, is first arouse in the other person an eager want. So the only way to influence people is to talk in terms of what the other person wants. You understand? With that said, head up, eyes and ears open, men and women. Now, let me give you some advice about the fine arts of human relationships. If there's one secret to success, said Henry Ford, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from yours. I think I need to repeat that. When it comes to the fine art of human relationships, there's one secret to success, and it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view, see things from their angle as well as from yours. That's so simple. It's so simple, so obvious that anyone should see the truth of it at a glance, yet 90% of people in this whole world ignore it 90% of the time. See, when it comes to this topic of discussion, I got the information and the experience that'll take any incel or femcel apart like Legos. Dismember these clowns, man. These clowns talking about, you stupid. I ain't put my name in no damn contract so she can get half my shit. Look what happened to Dr. Dre. Look what happened to this person, that person. Man, come on, man. And the women, y'all sound even worse to me. I'm independent. I don't need no man. I own businesses. I got money to raise my child. By the way, that was an impression of a dumb woman, y'all. Dumb woman. Businesses. See, you can't properly raise a child without its father, okay? And I don't give a damn what you say, what you read, I don't care. Yes, of course, now, you can maintain a child just fine, but the child needs the balance of both parents' presence, energy, and influence to be properly raised, you understand? It needs healthy examples of what created it so it can develop the way it was intended to develop. Now, I can bet you that there's someone out there listening to me right now that's a smart boy. The smart boy, yeah, they're going to leave a comment sounding something like this. Well, you ain't got to be married to live together and raise kids, you know. Oh, okay, yeah, you talking about cohabitation with absolutely no intent. Oh yeah, you smart, yeah, smart dummy. It's time for y'all to learn a bit more about raising children. It's time to stop the bullshit, okay? Now, I got some receipts for you. Some data. For all the data dorks out there, I got some data for you. I have an article in front of me here from the Institute of Family Studies called Parental Cohabitation and Marriage Are Not Interchangeable. I will put the link of it in the description. The article says, on the surface, the trend away from divorced or unwed mothers raising kids on their own toward more children living with both parents seems like a positive one for children raised outside of marriage. However, when it comes to child well-being, cohabiting unions more closely resemble single motherhood than marriage. As 18 noted family scholars stated in a report from the National Marriage Project, cohabitation is not the functional equivalent of marriage, and it is the largely unrecognized threat to the quality and stability of children's lives today. For children, the differences between cohabiting and married parents extend far beyond the lack of a marriage license. Compared to children of married parents, those with cohabiting parents are more likely to experience the breakup of their families, be exposed to complex family forms, live in poverty, suffer abuse, and have negative psychological and educational outcomes. Very interesting, huh? Let's continue. It goes on and discusses unstable unions. And it says, one of the major sources of inequality between cohabiting and married parenthood is that cohabiting couples tend to split up at higher rates than married couples. According to the National Marriage Project report called Not Yet, it's cute, it's spelled K-N-O-T, yet. Anyway, children of cohabiting parents in their 20s are 3 times more likely to experience the dissolution of their family than children born to married parents. The Fragile Family and Child Well-Being Study, we're going to call that FFCW, meanwhile finds that nearly half of parents who are cohabiting at the time of their child's birth break up within 5 years compared to only 20% of married parents. Half versus 20%. Let's continue. It talks about complex families. And it says, because of the fragile nature of cohabiting unions, children born to cohabiting parents are also more likely to transition in and out of new and often confusing family forms after their parents split up. According to the FFCW study, nearly 40% of unmarried mothers will cohabit with a new partner after their relationship with the child's father ends, and 14% will have another child with a new partner. Both the departure of a father and the arrival of a mother's new partner disrupt family routines and are stressful for most children, regardless of whether the father is married to their mother or merely cohabitating with her. Damn. This is heavy stuff, y'all, but it's not over. It continues to talk about child poverty. And it says, children raised in cohabiting unions are significantly more likely to experience poverty than those whose parents are married. In fact, cohabiting parents are second only to single mothers in terms of child poverty rates. Second only to single mothers, y'all. According to a study by the National Center for Family and Marriage Research at Bowling Green State University, children in married couple households have a poverty rate of 11% compared to a 47% poverty rate for children in cohabiting opposite-sex couple households and a 48% poverty rate in single mother households. Damn! One reason for the higher poverty rate amongst children in cohabiting unions has to do with pre-existing differences between cohabiting and married parents. According to a child trends analysis, cohabiting parents tend to have less education, lower incomes, and less secure employment than married parents. Also, because cohabiting unions are more likely to dissolve than marriages, children in cohabiting unions are at greater risk of spending time in a single-parent family, which significantly increases their poverty risks. Wow. Continues. It talks about child abuse. Oh, this is a big one here. It states, while children living with their unmarried biological mother and her live-in boyfriend face a higher risk of suffering child abuse than kids in any other type of family, children who live with their own cohabiting parents are more likely to be abused than children of married parents. Data from the 4th National Incidence Study of Child Abuse and Neglect shows that children living with biological cohabiting parents are over 4 times as likely to be physically, sexually, and emotionally abused as those living with their own married parents. And last but not least, y'all, it goes on to address negative life outcomes. You know, them girls that you see out there on Figaro, out there on the Blade, and them brothers out here living homeless. Anyway, on average, children living with cohabiting biological parents fare worse on several social, psychological, and educational outcomes than children born to married parents, even after controlling for factors like race, household income, and parental education. According to the National Marriage Project, children in cohabiting families are more likely to use drugs, suffer from depression, and drop out of school than children from married parent families. While some of the negative effects of cohabitation on children can be partly explained by their parents' lack of resources, according to W. Bradford Wilcox, cohabitation has an independent negative impact on children. While cohabiting parenthood may look like marriage in that it provides children with both a mom and a dad, it is a more fragile and less safe family union than marriage that robs children of a wide range of social, psychological, and educational benefits. As Wilcox has written here, no other institution reliably connects two parents and their money, talent, and time to their children in a way that marriage does. So you see, people, despite the popularity and convenience of cohabitation, marriage is still the best setting to have and raise children. And I dare say, now that more than ever, we need to do a better job at communicating this truth to the next generation. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this proves my point about marriage being the best setting to raise children. Now, there are always exceptions, but you know this is accurate. Hell, my life actually proves it. Matter of fact, let me discuss some of my personal experience with this. You see, my mother and father never married, and they briefly lived together, but they did co-parent. Mom and dad had me in Chicago. Their relationship didn't work out, and she decided to move to California, while my father remained in Chicago, and he married a woman. Around 7 years old, my mom started sending me to my father during summer breaks to be with him. Now, those visits were cool, but it wasn't really enough time for me to really develop a sense of belonging. Those visits back then mostly centered around going to amusement parks and water parks and spending time in Harvey, Illinois, and getting to know my extended family, my cousins and my uncles and, half-brother, stuff like that. See, growing up an only child under these circumstances is when I first noticed a big difference in married versus unmarried families. You see, with my mom, I was very well maintained, very spoiled, but I lacked discipline and stability. I was moved around to several different schools and struggled to develop connections with friends. But when I did develop friendships with children, they'd invite me over and I'd meet their parents. More often, they'd be married and I could feel the difference in their household, man. I mean, compared to mine, it was like something in the atmosphere of my friends' homes that didn't exist in mine. Around the age of 15, though, I discovered what that was because at 15, my mother sent me to live with my father. Yeah, y'all can guess why. I was becoming way too much for her to handle. Yep, going out, staying out, going to 21 and up clubs, ditching school, gambling, women, living recklessly. I was doing it early in life. So when I went to my dad, he had a wife and a new daughter, right? So I was thrusted into protection mode because I now had a little sister. They all welcomed me with open arms, and his wife even treated me like her son. Hell, I even started to call her mom. Rest in peace, Linda Jennings. That, y'all, was a real woman. Oh, man. Anyway, as I got settled in, I started to feel and see the difference. When there were outings or school functions, I was treated differently because I was acting differently, viewed differently than when I was with my mom. I really noticed it when it came to my friends, too. I mean, it's just deep, y'all. You see, for a boy, the wrath of a mother is nothing compared to the disappointment or disapproval of a father. My mother's discipline was nothing compared to my father's. Although I had respect for both of my parents, there's just a different reverence involved. My biological mother was and is still revered, respected, always has been and always will be, even to the casket drops. And my stepmother was also cut from the same cloth, so when I went to live with Pop, it was an easy transition and a clear difference. Getting ready to come to a close to this. But I just really wanted to say that marriage matters, y'all, and I'm a living example of it. The problem with you men and women who think otherwise is that you don't have enough life experience, and I dare say you don't even have enough relationship experience, see? Y'all sit up here and you listen to these pickup artists and get all this secondhand information, and then you apply someone else's experience to your life rather than going out into the world and tasting its realities and processing it for yourself. Your ignorance makes you fear and hate what you don't know. And then you got the nerve to turn around and complain about how screwed up our people are. You must focus on raising children the right way so that change for the better will happen. But that's never going to happen unless you adjust your settings to best raise those children, you understand? Now this is Ebo Sosa, and I'm signing off, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed the show, but before I go, I want to let you know that I'm here for you, and I'm offering you my experience and knowledge. I'm here for you, but you got to be here for me too. And you have to commit to me just as I'm committed to you. As I said in my past video, you must first embrace not knowing, because believe it or not, there are ingredients a human being must have in order to have a successful marriage, which I'm more than happy to discuss with you. But that's entirely up to you, and you're tithing to this. I want to thank you for listening to me right now, giving me one of the most valuable things any other human being can offer one. That's time and attention. Now don't forget to sub to the Ebo Sosa Show. Turn on the notification bell and select all so I can help you, okay? God bless you all. Peace.